Happy early signing day out there. Frank House of Orange TV coming at you. Used to this thing, the big day everybody counted down to was the first Wednesday in February. Now it's been moved up this year to December 3rd. Last couple years, I felt like it was a little later in the month. But regardless, early signing day is here. And Tennessee, Josh Heupel and staff have absolutely knocked it out of the park in this cycle. Hit that like, that share, that subscribe. A big day for Tennessee as of this point, they haven't lost anybody. Celeste Moa is still out there, has not signed. That's going to be delayed. It looks like that could be something between Tennessee and Utah at this point, even though he had visited Michigan over the weekend. Everything I'm reading says it's possible Utah has come in late with a big offer. And that was apparently his dad is an alum, played at Utah. So is that something? Will Tennessee keep him in the fold? But let's focus on what's in the boat already. They kept all their major guys, and they were able to flip back Legend Bay. They flipped Legend Bay athlete out of Texas who was committed for a long time, flipped to Ohio State. I don't know if Brian Hartline going to South Florida had anything to do with that or not, but regardless, Tennessee stayed on him. I talked about it a couple nights ago when I did video talking about the portal. Portal needs a couple guys hitting the portal, and I mentioned in that, said it's, from what I'm reading, they're still in on Legend Bay. Well, that persistence paid off. He is back in the fold. He is signed. He's an elite athlete who's in the fold. It'd be fun to see how Tennessee chooses to use him, whether it's in the slot, whether it could be running back in the return game. A lot of different options there. Big-time pickup to get him back in the fold with it today. Tennessee also flipped top 100 defensive lineman Carter Goodman out of Massachusetts, flipped him from UCLA. That was a big pickup. Right as I was setting everything up on this as well, Tennessee just got a commitment from four-star Jordan Carter, defensive end out of Georgia, who had been committed to Texas A&M for some time. So that's 3 4-stars in the fold. And based on what I've seen, J.J. Finch, defensive lineman, committed to Alabama right now, is supposed to maybe finalize his stuff at 6 o'clock. And everything I'm reading, it says Tennessee has a real shot to flip him back in the fold as well. Of course, Tennessee did add a punter today as well, Aussie punter. Let me find it here. It is Logan Foley is the name. So he is 6'6", 209, big dude here as well. That'll be, another Aussie punter to go along with Jackson Ross. But as of right now, including Celeste Moa, Tennessee's got 28 in the fold. 24/7 Sports has Tennessee ranked 5th in the country. If Moa signs, I don't know if that's including him or not right now. I'm assuming it does. And then Rivals has Tennessee ranked 7th in the country. So there is some, difference on the rankings with it as well. But your highest in it is Faison Brandon. Faison Brandon is your highest. According to, there's such discrepancies in the rankings if you go through them. Like on Rivals, Faison Brandon is still their top guy. Tennessee, according to Rivals, does not have any 5 stars. They have plenty of 4 stars, 3 stars out. But according to 24/7, I'll get to ESPN in a minute. 24/7's got Faison Brandon, number 2 overall. Tristan Keys, 10 overall. Gabriel Osenda, number 24 overall. That's to go along with multiple other 4 stars as well. And then ESPN has Faison Brandon, Tristan Keys 9th and 10th in their rankings. But to me, they've hit a home run in this cycle. It's Josh Heupel's highest rated class to date. And the biggest thing is along this time, and I still say a part of, we can be disappointed with the way the season ended. The season was not a total failure, though. 8-4, you're going to play more than likely a Big Ten team, I would think. It's going to be a Big Ten or an ACC team, depending on where you land at with it. Tennessee should have a good opportunity to finish the season 9-4. They'll go into next season. There's a lot of questions. Josh Heupel talked about it today in his press conference, said they're going to see what they need, and then said they're going to hit the portal hard. That was what he said on it. What positions will they hit? He didn't specify, and why would he specify when you're trying to sign guys and stuff? But I got to think, depending on what happens with quarterback's possibility, what will they do with running back? Obviously, it'll depend on who hits the portal as well as, I looked at it and talked about it Monday night when I did video on Kellen Lindstrom and Jamal Wallace hit the portal. Said it could go as high as I could see it go as high as 20 guys hitting the portal. I don't know if that many will, but and Tennessee's got to be aggressive in the spots they need. They can't be lackadaisical. They can't be lackluster this time. They're close. I really and I truly believe with the talent they're bringing in, they can keep their main guys in the fold and add to it next year. Obviously, quarterback will be a big part of that. Faison Brandon said he's coming in to compete for the job. George McIntyre, guarantee, is coming back to compete for the job. Based on everything I've seen, the expectation Jake Merklinger will hit the portal. But we'll see. I mean, because there's only one window. It's going to be January 2nd through 16th. So they're not going to have, the luxury this time of going through spring practice and then hitting the portal and being able to play. There may be some loophole in there, but the portal will not be open during that time like it has been in the past. There's one window for it this time. But, coming back to the signing class today, you look at it. Tennessee got top-notch quarterback. Running back, no running backs, but can Legend Bay possibly play running back? There's a couple athletes in this class that you wonder if they had to, could they play running back as well? But I think most of your athletes are going to be defensive backs. Moa and Legend Bay, again, if you keep Moa, both of them are more than likely offense. Part of me wonders with Moa, he's supposed to be a top-notch defensive back and wide receiver. Could you put him at safety, especially with all the talent you've signed at receiver with Tristan Keys, with Legend Bay, with Tyreek King? 3 big-time pickups there. Looking at it as well. I just mentioned wide receiver. Home run, great job by Kelsey Pope. Kelsey Pope, to me, including the season and recruiting, top-notch this year. The development of the wide receivers, I know they're not perfect with the drops, but, man, they were all pretty good overall this year. You had a 1,000-yard guy with Chris Brazel, Staley and Matthews over 700 yards a piece with that. And, that was a position of concern due to inexperience. Now it's not. It's a position of strength moving forward. You added a tight end in Luka Wolf, a late flip from Cal. And to me, if you keep all your guys in the fold, Ethan Davis, Jack Van Dorselaer, Deshaun Brain, what will happen to Cole Harris? And I'll be interested to see there. If you keep the top 3 in the fold, you're good there. Offensive line, they lose no one. Will they lose guys at the portal? I mean, I think it's a possibility. Anything's a possibility with the portal now. But you added Kamari Blair, you added Gabriel Osenda, and you added Edward Baker. I thought they did really good on the offensive line. Defensive line, it's a good defensive line class that they've added as well, especially with adding Carter Goodman and Jordan Carter today. Just going down through here as well. Hitting defensive line. Getting Carter Goodman, 6'4", 260. He's listed on Rivals. Hezekiah Harris, edge out of Alabama that they had flipped from Auburn early on. Zach Groves, another edge out of Cross Plains, Tennessee. Darion Albert, defensive lineman out of Mississippi. They kept in the fold. 3-star on Rivals, but 4-star on 24/7 and ESPN. Kedrick Golston is an edge out of Virginia. Darrell Rivers, defensive lineman out of Georgia. They kept in the fold as there was some concern about him going to Georgia. At one point, Tennessee was able to keep him in the fold. Edge C.J. Edwards, defensive edge out of New Jersey. He was committed for a long time, kept him in the fold. They were able to get Niquavion Simmons into the fold this week, 6'3", 310, defensive lineman out of Columbus, Georgia. So really you added some depth, some quality, some big guys. And again, you may add, again, later on, J.J. Finch is a real possibility that's currently committed to Alabama. And his rankings kind of fluctuate. ESPN does not think too highly of him based on the ranking. I'm not sure how their system goes. They have him a 79, but 24/7 had Finch as a 4-star. Rivals had him as a 3-star. So good class there. Linebacker, I think excellent job at linebacker with T.J. White, with Braden Rouse. I'm trying to think. I think there was one more. Again, I can't remember every single dude off the top of my head here. Actually, that's your 2 true linebackers in this class. And then tons of defensive backs in it. Joel Wyatt's the headliner, and there was some concern on him last night that LSU's come in. There was some concern he may delay it and you'll kind of be recruited. But AustinPriceVolQuest.com had put last night, found out that White would sign today. He did indeed sign. And we desperately need Joel White to be a safety, whatever they can do to keep him a safety, because Tennessee needs help there. Tennessee, I think, added some nice athletes in the defensive backfield. Now it's not showing up in the terms of high 5 stars, high 4 stars, but there's some good talent, some good speed, some good size that they brought in. Joel White is the headliner there as far as the defensive backs goes. Zayden Anderson out of Greenville. He's a consensus 4-star. Well, ESPN has him a 3. Rivals 24/7 both have him top 200, 4-star. Javonte Smith is a guy out of Jackson, Tennessee. Good speed, good size, 6 foot, 175. Joel Combe, 6'2", 190 safety out of Georgia. Luke Thompson. Talked about Luke Thompson back when he committed. He's a legacy. I'm trying to remember what it's through exactly. It's one of, I can't remember if it's grandparents or what it is, but he's a guy 6'1", 175. He's a 3-star, but I liked his speed and the potential with his size. KJ McLean, safety out of New Jersey. Jamin Theodore, cornerback out of Chattanooga as well. So Tennessee added, most of these dudes that they added in defensive backfield are right around 5'11", 6 foot, with speed and with possibility to add on size. The key is going to be to develop them. And, we'll see as far as the coaching staff goes. I mean, I'll be honest, just based on the history, I don't expect a lot of change, but is there a possibility that you can't rule it out? But overall, everything aside, I think this staff hit a home run in this recruiting class. Again, their best one to date. And people said, well, if we're going to compete, we got to get these top 5 classes. Well, there's a top 5 class. And, depending on the publication, as high as 3rd in the SEC. That's how you start to compete with the big boys along the way. That's how you start to get things done. And look at the team rankings. USC's number 1. They've got 35 commits. So Notre Dame 2, 27. Oregon 21. Oregon had a really good cycle. This is the rival. This is the what do you call it? The combination. I can't remember what you freaking call it at this point. Georgia 4, Tennessee 5. According to the rivals, the combined Tennessee 2nd. There, Alabama's behind Tennessee, Ohio State, Miami, Texas A&M, LSU round out the top 10. Fantastic job this cycle. I'll call it like I see it. I'll give credit when it's due. I'll give criticism when I see it as well. Josh Heupel, this coaching staff, great job this cycle. Next for this cycle, number 1's going to be keeping Celeste Moe in the fold. And next, it's going to be identifying, going out. It's going to be keeping your main players in the fold. If you lose a guy to the NFL draft, so be it. I tip my cap, wish them luck on that one. But you don't want to lose any of your main guys to the portal. You can use some depth pieces to go to the portal, not your main guys on that. They've got to identify where they need it and go out and get what they need. But a great day for Tennessee football. And, regardless of how it ended, good things are still happening on Rocky Top. This is Frank. This is the House of Orange. I'll see you when I see you.